Well, Blue Jays lose 2-1 to the Mets, fall to 5-5 on the year as they get swept by the Mets. It's the same old story here, really. Team stats wise, you've got 10 left on base for the Blue Jays and 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. So, same old same that we've been seeing the last few games. Get runners on, get them into scoring position, and you're unable to come through with the hit. And you know what? It's getting frustrating, and it feels a lot more than just bad luck at this point. There's something, super small sample size, 10 games, but it's starting to become not a small sample size. Um, Geez, I don't even know what to say here. So, the top of the order, your 1, 2, 3, 4 hitters. You've got Bo, Vlad, Santander, and Jimenez. Unable to come up with a single hit. Your only hits today were Alejandro Kirk, Tyler Heineman, and Miles Straw. Bo Bichette 0 for 4, Vladdy 0 for 4 with a walk, Santander 0 for 2 with 2 walks, and Jimenez 0 for 3. Now, I don't have much to say about the play-by-play. I'll skim through it here. The Mets got on the board in the bottom of the third. We walked the number 9 hitter to start the third inning, which obviously you never want to do. Get Lindor to strike out, swinging, then walk Soto, and Pete Alonso comes through with a single, scoring the run, making it 1-0. And then Nimmo hits a sac fly, makes it 2-0. So that's basically right there. Jokingly, we were saying in the chat that the game was over, but it actually turned out to be the case. That's just been the difference between the two teams. They get runners on, they get them in. We get runners on, we strike out, fly out, pop up to the catcher, whatever. We don't even move the runners along. We do nothing. The fifth inning there, we had a Heineman double to start it off. You're thinking, leadoff double, none out. Straw strikes out swinging. Bichette grounds out to the shortstop. Guerrero gets walked. Santander gets walked. You've got the bases loaded. Jimenez gets hit by pitch. That's the only way we're able to score a run, is literally walk, hit by pitch to finally push somebody across. And then, as I say, Kirky flies out to the catcher with bases loaded. And you know what? They gifted us one there. We didn't deserve to score that inning, but that's also an inning where you've got to make them pay one of these times, right? Like game after game after game, every single opportunity we fail at. And to go back to what I touched on yesterday with the bullpen usage, how people were so upset with John Schneider, and I agree, like I understand where they were coming from with being upset with the way that he managed the bullpen. But I highlighted how the guys have to come in and do their job and get outs regardless. And tonight we saw that, when Bowden Francis got pulled for Chad Green, a lot of people were upset about that. I could see the chat kind of going that way as well. And Chad Green comes in, gets outs, and all of a sudden it's great job, Green. We needed that. I think he went an inning and 2/3 and looked phenomenal. And then Brendan Little comes in the exact same spot as last night, where it's, what was he pitching? The 8th inning. And it's a 2-1 game, and he's got to go through that same meat of the order. The difference being, let's see what he does here. So in the bottom of the 8th, Little comes in. He goes, Nimmo strikes out. Marte strikes out, Vientos grounds out. So he looks phenomenal, right? So Chad Green gets a clean, he cleans up the mess in the 6th for Francis after he put 2 on. Then he comes over the 7th and gets through it with no damage. And then Little comes in and gets the 8th for you, no damage. In a 2-1 tight, high leverage game. These are guys that we need to be able to lean on in these sorts of situations, and they came through tonight. Last night they didn't, tonight they did. Unfortunately, the constant was the offense didn't show up on either night. We should have won yesterday with any amount. We had 14 base runners and we were unable to push anything across. And what did I say off the top here that we were? Let me scroll through the stats here. Again, 10 left on base, 0 for 8 runners in scoring position. You're just not going to win games like that. Starting pitching was fine. He started to get dinged up a little bit the third time through the order. The bullpen came in and did their job and held the fort. And the offense could only muster one run, and even that run was given to them through a walk, and a hit by pitch. And it's just not good enough. It's really tough on the pitching staff to have to be perfect. And we've heard this the last couple of years. We thought things were going to be a little bit better with Bo Bichette back and Anthony Santander added to the mix, plus a new hitting coach with a new philosophy. He said all the right keywords. He said damage. He said that they were going to be looking to, ambush fastballs, get their A swing off, all that kind of stuff. And it sounded good. It looked good in the spring. And we're just not seeing any of it translate. It's the same old, same old. And at the end of the day, it's the offense as a whole is a problem, but it's those top 3 or 4, like I mentioned, the Bo Bichette, Vladdy Guerrero Jr., and Santander that want to get paid a lot of money or are paid a lot of money. And they're coming up with plenty of opportunities, and at best they're giving us singles. There's no home runs, there's no doubles, there's no nothing. It's station to station, and Vladdy came up in a couple of crucial spots today, and it was ground balls to the shortstop. And he was swinging at pitches, maybe they were strikes, but they were right on the outside corner. And he's swinging at, sliders. And then he gets one that hangs middle for him. And he hits, I think on that one, I know he hit a lazy fly ball out to center, and he also hit another ground ball to shortstop. I don't remember which it was. I think it might have been the fly ball that time. But he got a slider that was literally middle, dead center. And he did nothing with it. And then, of course, to end the game, Roden gets hit by pitch, Heineman strikes out, then Luke lines out, and then Bichette gets hit by pitch. So you've got 2 on, 2 out for Guerrero. And again, you don't expect them to come through all the time like this. Just once come through. Grounds into a fielder's choice, just a lazy ground ball directly at the shortstop. He didn't even have to move, and the game's over. So, for as long as the offense is looking like this, it is going to be tough to beat good teams. I don't know how we were able to touch up Mackenzie Gore the way we were, because he's a phenomenal left-handed pitcher. I know that the Nats themselves weren't fantastic, but Gore is a very good pitcher. And then they come out against these guys, and they just can't touch anybody, and it makes no sense. So that's where I'll leave it off for today. Did you guys watch the game? What did you think? Are there any signs of life? I mean, it's a long season, thankfully, so let's hope they can turn it around. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We got a long week ahead of us with, I think it's the Red Sox and then the Orioles. So we'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.